Знаете, какой самый крутой навык в английском? Это не умение заниматься чтением, находить какие-то сложные ответы на вопросы. Это не умение писать. А для любого изучающего язык это способность, даже когда тебе очень не хочется, но ты чувствуешь, что тебе это нужно сделать, как будто толкнуть себя в то, чтобы ну вот ты начни, а дальше посмотрим, что будет. И делать это на регулярной основе, потому что сейчас, например, у меня такое внутреннее было сопротивление, я такой думаю, блин, ну как-то вот не хочется, вроде бы надо попрактиковать спикинг сегодня, но в то же время что-то как-то, да ладно, сейчас вот сяду, начну, а дальше посмотрим. И вот это тот навык, который необходимо развивать, потому что без него не будет прогресса. И зачастую, если постоянно так себе отказывать в том, чтобы практиковать язык, со временем эти непройденные уроки, которые мы сами себе поставили как важные для себя задачи, они накапливаются, и они имеют свойство потом вызывать определенное сожаление. И вот чтобы этого не было, мы себя как бы кидаем, ставим перед собой камеру и дальше будь что будет. Поэтому мы сегодня практикуем разговорную часть. Делаем это не в экзаменационном формате, а просто формат спонтанного разговорного английского, максимально на чиле, на спокухе, просто врываемся. Okay. Right, so I suppose that is going to be quite nice if I could tell you about my day, and it was great. I mean, the way I spent it is amazing because today I woke up early in the morning and I thought to myself, should I go to the gym or maybe I should just sleep a bit more? And I was like, okay, so probably I'm gonna go to the gym, but then instead I had a session with a guy who did some massage. It was great. We worked together. It was an amazing morning. We had some nice conversations. We were swimming in the pool, talking to each other, and yeah, he was great. And then after that, I came home. But when I was on my way back home, I stopped by a local cafe and ate a burger. That was spot on. That was exactly what I needed. I mean, the taste was absolutely out of this world. And that is exactly what I liked about this burger. Kind of on a regular day, it has nothing to it. I mean, it's just a burger. But when you're hungry and it's around 2 p.m. and you begin to enjoy life and you see it in a slightly different way. So yeah, this is just the way it was. And after that, I came back home. I slept and I woke up and had to do a bit of work. It was cool. I mean, I just did some editing, texted my friends. We had a lovely conversation on Telegram, unfortunately, because now I can't really see my friends since they are far away. They're in Russia currently at the moment, and I'm here in Bali. So, yeah, that was cool. And then I was like thinking about this English practice, and I simply caught myself thinking that it isn't the way it's supposed to be done, because I can't really keep thinking about it all the time without doing anything. So and then I just decided to kind of throw myself into it and fucking do it, because if I don't do it, who will? There is nobody else to practice my English instead of me. And I know that after this practice, after this short lesson, I begin to respect myself even more. And I kind of get better every day, step by step, and slowly but surely, I'm getting closer to my goal. Though I may not have it in my head I mean, for this year, I don't really have any goals, but I suppose that is something that we all should kind of achieve in this life, where we don't really set goals for ourselves and we kind of go with the flow. Because I know that for some people, goals might be inspiring and they could motivate them, but it doesn't really work this way when it comes to my personal experience. Like, from my point of view, it is something that is dragging me down, and I don't really understand why, but this is exactly what's happening. So whenever I set myself a goal, I'm like, okay, how many steps should I take in order to get there? And now, when I begin to see this infinite stairs, I'm like, oh, there is no way. But recently, I realized that it's quite nice when you can actually keep track of the progress. When you kind of achieve a particular checkpoint and you see that you're progressing through the day, it is actually great. I mean, when you realize that you're in control of your day, you may not be in control of what lies ahead of you in the long run, though whenever it comes to this exact moment, you can just choose anything you want. You can be anyone you want to be. And it's great. I mean, you can choose your emotions and you can choose your reactions. I think this is a real gift that is normally unappreciated. I'm not sure about this word, by the way. It's not really, well, yeah, I think that we don't really value this enough as humans. But I guess that is also part of our human experience, and there is nothing wrong with that. So yeah, just wanted to see the difference between the way I speak now in the evening and the way I do it in the morning, because my previous video was filmed at around 8 or 9 a.m. I don't really remember, but yeah. So I just want to notice whether there are any difference regarding my fluency and regarding the way I speak in general. And I think it is going to work out well. And we're going to compare two of these videos. So yeah, life is great. It's all about our ability to be thankful to the things that we have, instead of just, thinking that life is bad and we have to change something in order to achieve a particular goal, and we kind of see no beauty in this life. I think that those who do it are so unfortunate, and it's important to kind of get back to this childhood state. Without it, without this feeling of fulfillment, I don't really think that it is possible to kind of set some right goals and to achieve them without any problems, because you might achieve it, but what's the point of it if you don't really feel anything anymore? Because you lose your soul. You win, you conquer the world, but you lose your soul. You probably know this quote. So yeah, that's all about my day, and it's been only 10 minutes since I started talking, even less. So yeah, we have a long way to go. And yeah, I just wanted to share a couple of things regarding my future plans and the things that I want to do in my life. Though I said that I don't really like to set goals and, kind of follow this routine, blah, blah, blah. But, sometimes it's important to understand when and how you can do certain things, instead of just following this rigid schedule and putting yourself into this cage of this routine, And yeah, this is what I'm doing, trying to go with the flow and understand where I can direct my boat in this current, So yeah, this is what I'm doing. And yeah, by the way, this is my favorite cup. The way I got it was real funny because I remember that I finished my training in Rostov. I think it was early in the morning. I went out of the gym, and there was a small coffee shop not too far away from the gym. I think it takes around 5 minutes to actually get there from the gym. And then I remember the first time I came in, I was surprised because the interior was very fancy. Though it's in Rostov, you wouldn't really expect anything more than a normal cafe in Rostov in terms of its design. But when they came over, I was like, wow, I was surprised. And then I found this cup and I bought it. And now this is my favorite cup. I can't imagine my life without my, what do we call it? Without my items. Yeah, my personal items. I just simply put them around and it makes me feel like I'm home. And it's a great thing. And for some people, it actually helps. Because for me personally, it's important to feel grounded. Like, normally, I'm too much in my head, as I said. And it's important to get this idea and this feeling of being here, being present, without thinking too much about what I should do and just do things, So that's why whenever I pour myself anything in this cup, it works out just perfectly. And yeah, I also have I don't really know what do we call this thing. It's like there is this small it's a small candle, I think, and I usually burn it when I just feel like I need to do it. Now, without it, life gets a bit boring because these small items, they can actually keep the show running. Though you may be tired, you may not feel like you want to do anything, but these things, they kind of motivate you in a way, because once you've done some work, and when you were surrounded with these things and you did some work, when you were drinking from this cup, or you were burning a candle, then you kind of get in the same mood, and you begin to enjoy the process. This is what's happening, and I really think that it's magic. Can't be described in any other way. I mean, I simply have no words for that. Yeah, by the way, my glasses. This is also another item that I adore, and I found it quite interesting because recently I kind of decided to wear them for no reason while I was sitting here, and then I was like, actually I look very cool when I'm wearing these. And then I began to think, probably I should use it as a sort of a ritual, before starting my work. And then it began to work out. I don't really know how, but it was a miracle, really. I kind of got this motivation back. And I began to work, and I felt like nothing could stop me. So yeah, some small rituals might actually help if you know what you're doing and if you understand your preferences. Because personally, for me, I love coffee. This is what I love drinking. Not really into tea, but anyway, I mean, I just prefer coffee. And sometimes I can do tea as well, but this is what I do when I just want to get in the mood, because without the right mood, sometimes it's pointless to do anything in this life. When you're not feeling this flow of ideas, this flow of something that goes above and beyond, you know, and things that you really want to convey and express. Some of my videos and the things like that, that was a bit off, don't get me wrong. Yep. And in these moments you realize that, yeah, you actually need some stuff to help you. Without the right mood, I don't think my content is not as good as I want it to be. And whatever I do, it's not going to be that thing that I expect it to be. So that's why our mood is crucial. It is something that we really need. And these things are here to set the tone for the rest of the day and kind of get us in this mood. Though I think that on a slightly different level, our mood can be perceived as a slightly different thing. So our mood is right here, but our frequency, I think it is something else. There is this transcendent element to it. And sometimes it's hard to kind of encompass it to... it's hard to encompass it for a mind that is kind of skeptical, you know? Though I don't really think that this is a problem for a person who kind of knows what's going on around him, and he understands the importance of this concept of these frequencies, these waves that we're surrounded by. Because yeah, your emotion might turn out to be a wave. I think that anything is a wave in this life, really. So yeah, this is even this conversation, even this monologue is a wave, and it's great. I mean, the way it feels, it's something out of this world, really, because I never thought that I might be actually capable of recording a video without being afraid of making a mistake, without being kind of, you know, without having this fear of being judged or anything of that kind. And it's so strange when you can finally do it. Feels great. And I'm grateful for I have this gratitude deep inside of me. I'm grateful for all the things that I did. I'm grateful for all the experiences that I've had in my life. And I keep experiencing this life even through recording this video, which is a great thing. What else can be better than that? I mean, it has always been my dream. It's to sit at home and talk about some nice stuff, you know. I've always been into telling stories. That's what I recently noticed, because when I was a kid, I remember that I used to play video games, and I remember sharing the main storyline to my grandmother, and you know, she was pretending like she was listening, but the way she did it, I kind of believed her. You know, I was like, oh, you know, there was that monster and I kind of killed it, and then I walked past that door and there was another monster. She was like, oh yeah, really? Is that what happened? Crazy. But I felt like she was listening. And that's what I liked about it. I think it's important to be heard and to understand that there are other people who are ready to listen to you, though your tales might be a bit strange, and the things that you're interested in might sound a bit off. I still think that it is important to share it anyway, no matter the people that are going to listen to this, because some people may actually like the way you describe some of the stuff to them, you know, and they might say thank you, because they can also learn something from you. It can be, you know, a sort of a pleasant experience for them. And I don't really think that we should rob them of this experience. First off, we rob ourselves from this experience and this ability to tell stories to other people. And every time we do it, we improve our speaking skills, we improve our conversational skills, and our communication develops. And this is what we need. I guess that in 21st century, without communication of any kind, it's nearly impossible to achieve anything in this life. And that's what I believe. Communication is key. А вот это мы, наверное, сделаем темой нашего следующего разговора. Наверное, это видео получилось очень спонтанным, и вы заметили, как у меня вначале вообще ничего не шло, а потом как-то ты все равно начинаешь включаться и идти вперед, подхватываешь эту волну, и вот очень важно, мне кажется, себя взять и толкнуть в это. Просто начать делать, а дальше посмотреть, что будет. Вот в таком формате. Поэтому, надеюсь, узнали какие-то интересные выражения, там много чего было, может быть, даже будет смысл взять какие-то ролики, разобрать и посмотреть, что я там говорил, как я это использовал, почему я это использовал, чтобы это более детальный получился урок. Сейчас пока хочется поделать контент в максимально живом формате, чтобы вы почувствовали, что такое живой спикинг, без прикрас, без нарезок, без какого-либо монтажа, как человек общается вживую. Вот этим я и хочу с вами поделиться. И далее посмотрим, какие еще идеи мне придут в голову. А пока работаем с максимально спонтанной речью. Спасибо вам за просмотр, друзья. Надеюсь, вы кайфанули. Дальше будем делать больше.